7 days earlier, walking had become a torment. Her legs felt like boulders she had to drag, every movement requiring enormous effort. The pain was constant, her sleep was fragmented, and getting out of bed had become a feat. She wasn't alone in this battle. Thousands of people over 60 face this same silent struggle every day. Yet in just a week, everything changed. Her legs felt light again, the pain gradually disappeared. She could move gracefully again, her night's sleep became peaceful, and even a morning walk became a pleasure instead of a challenge. No expensive medication, no specialist visits, no complicated machinery were needed. The solution was incredibly simple, a common oil you probably have in your pantry. A remedy passed down through generations but forgotten in the modern age of synthetic medicine. The results achieved in just 7 days, completely natural and free of side effects, seemed almost miraculous. But before continuing, please like the video, share it with people who might benefit from it, and let us know in the comments which city you follow our YouTube channel from. This story is dedicated to those who have lost hope of walking without pain, to those who believe that pain and heaviness are inevitable companions of aging. I want to show you that there is a natural way out, that you can rediscover that sense of freedom in movement you thought was lost forever. Stay tuned because we'll reveal exactly how to apply this method, what progress you can expect day after day, and 3 natural combinations to further amplify the benefits. Before you begin, leave a comment indicating your age and the city you're watching from. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to never miss practical, natural tips that really work. The root of the problem. Anna didn't notice the change overnight. It was a slow and inexorable process. At first, she only felt a discomfort behind her knees after reaching the mailbox. Then she noticed how her ankles turned into balloons every evening, even when she'd spent the day sitting. When she bent over to water the flowers, her calves would contract painfully. At 72, even leaving her favorite chair required an energy she no longer recognized. Like many women of her generation, Anna thought it was simply the price of age. But in reality, her body had been sending her warning signals for a long time. Blood circulation had begun to progressively slow. The vessels that once ensured perfect flow had become stiff and narrowed. Blood struggled to flow downward and up toward the heart. Without adequate oxygenation and nourishment, the legs manifested chronic fatigue and weakness. Simultaneously, fluid began to accumulate in the lower limbs. The kidneys and lymphatic system became less efficient at draining fluid, while gravity pulled everything toward the feet and ankles. This stagnation not only caused discomfort, but also compromised balance and stability during sleep. Progressive muscle loss shouldn't be underestimated either. Without constant stimulation, Anna's thigh and calf muscles were slowly atrophying, not out of laziness, but simply out of ignorance. Weaker muscles meant greater joint stress and a higher risk of falls. However, the situation wasn't irreparable. Anna's body didn't need miracles, just adequate support, and that support came in the most unexpected way possible. The chance encounter. It was a particularly quiet Wednesday afternoon when Anna made the discovery. She wasn't looking for anything specific. She'd been busy tidying up the spice cabinet, a task she'd neglected for far too long. And then it appeared, a small glass bottle hidden behind the balsamic vinegar and dried marjoram. She picked it up, carefully examined the label, and a smile lit up her face. Rosemary oil. She vaguely remembered buying it after reading about its benefits for muscle pain, but then it had been forgotten, as often happens. That evening, her legs were aching again. Instead of the usual heating pad, she decided to experiment. She poured a few drops of rosemary oil into her palms, rubbed them together to warm it, and began gently massaging her calves and thighs. The aroma alone completely transformed the atmosphere, intense, purifying, relaxing, but it was the after effect that truly astonished her. Within moments, a pleasant sensation of warmth spread beneath her skin. It didn't burn, it was an internal caress, as if her legs were awakening from a long slumber. That night, for the first time in weeks, she slept peacefully, undisturbed by cramps. Rosemary oil may seem like a trivial remedy, but it conceals age-old wisdom. It's more than just a culinary herb. It's a treasure trove of extraordinary active ingredients like rosmarinic acid and powerful antioxidants. These natural components effectively stimulate circulation, soothe inflamed tissue, and release accumulated muscle tension. Ancient Greek and Roman therapists used this exact approach to relieve tired legs, sore joints, and aching feet after long walks. The uniqueness of rosemary oil lies in its rapid action. It specifically stimulates peripheral circulation, directing blood exactly where it's needed most: the legs, ankles, and feet. Its anti-inflammatory properties also help reduce swelling that occurs from prolonged standing or sitting. Perhaps equally important is the sensorial and emotional aspect. That scent, that warmth, that ritual become much more than a simple massage. For Anna, it transformed into a sacred moment dedicated exclusively to herself. If you're wondering exactly how to use this oil to achieve results similar to Anna's, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through the entire process step by step. The ideal time for application is immediately after a warm shower. At this point, the skin is perfectly clean, the pores are dilated, and the muscles are already partially relaxed. Even if you haven't just bathed, the important thing is that your legs are dry and clean. Anna always started by holding the bottle in her hands for a few seconds, just long enough for it to warm naturally. If the oil felt cold, she placed it next to a warm towel for a few moments. Then he poured 5 or 6 drops into his palm, rubbed his hands together vigorously, and inhaled deeply. That scent, aromatic, earthy, enveloping, worked like a magic switch. It signaled to the body that the moment of personal well-being had begun. The massage technique. She invariably began at her ankles, moving slowly upward in circular motions, without haste, without excessive pressure, just firm, loving caresses along her calves, behind her knees, along her shins, and then up her thighs. On her thighs, she slowed the pace even further, wide, enveloping movements as if she were tenderly embracing her own legs. It wasn't simply a massage, it was an act of self-love. Each leg required 5 to 7 minutes of attention. She breathed deeply throughout the process, synchronizing her touch with her breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. It became a form of active meditation, an oasis of peace and healing in a frenetic world. The key to success was consistency. 2 applications a day. 1 in the morning to prepare the legs for the day, 1 in the evening to release tension and pressure accumulated during the day. 7 days. That was how long it took to notice a significant change. After that first week, Anna didn't stop the treatment. She simply adjusted the frequency. Sometimes just 1 application a day, other times only in the evening when her legs felt heavier. But it never became a chore. It became a pleasant routine, like brushing your teeth or sipping evening tea. And if you wanted to further enhance its effectiveness, there were a few additional little tricks. Complementary treatments. After the massage, Anna often elevated her legs on 2 pillows, spending 15 minutes there to promote venous return to the heart. Other times, when her legs were particularly sore, she applied a warm towel after the massage. The moist heat facilitated the oil's absorption and brought extra comfort. But the most important element wasn't technical. It was silence. No phone, no television, no background noise, just Anna, her hands, and her breathing. Because when you consciously slow down, something changes. Not just in the physical body, but also in the spirit. And if you're wondering what happens after a full week of this treatment, that's exactly what we'll explore in the next segment. What struck Anna most wasn't just the transformation in her legs, it was the speed with which they began to respond positively. By the end of the first week, the changes were unexpectedly evident. Although everyone's body reacts differently, many people report a similar rate of improvement. The first day wasn't about eliminating pain, it was about mindfulness. Simply taking the time to massage her legs, breathing consciously, and focusing on herself already made her feel lighter, not necessarily physically, but certainly emotionally. It reminded her that her body still had value, that she still had value. Progress day by day. The second day brought a subtle but noticeable difference. Her legs no longer felt so stiff when she stood up. During the night, the usual cramps no longer woke her abruptly. Her sleep became deeper and more restful. The third day brought a little surprise. As she moved around the house, she noticed a change in the way she walked. Her feet no longer dragged. Her steps seemed more fluid and natural. The pain persisted, of course, but the oppressive weight began to dissolve. By the fourth day, her skin looked visibly healthier. The dryness and flakiness she had ignored were replaced by a radiant, vibrant appearance. Her legs seemed to be reborn, and this gave her renewed vital energy. During the fifth and sixth days, a new element emerged: self-confidence. She walked with greater confidence, no longer hesitating to step off the curb. She even climbed the stairs without holding on to the handrail for safety. On the seventh day, she stopped, looked at her legs, and smiled sincerely because for the first time in a long time, they no longer felt like a burden. They felt like an integral part of her again. While those 7 days can bring real and significant changes, some people get even better results by exploring other oils that suit their specific needs. Let me show you some of the best alternatives available. Effective, natural alternatives. While rosemary oil worked wonderfully for Anna, it's not the only natural option available. In fact, depending on what your family is going through, she spends most of her days on her feet selling vegetables at the market. She now swears by its effectiveness. After using it for a few days, the pain behind her knees completely disappeared. If your main struggle is sleep, especially when leg discomfort keeps you from resting, lavender oil is a great choice. Its aroma alone is enough to calm the mind, but when massaged into the legs, it produces even more profound effects. It gently relaxes muscles and calms overactive nerves. Lavender doesn't just help your legs rest, it helps your entire body find peace. That's why many people keep it on their bedside table, ready for those evenings when their bodies refuse to relax. Horse chestnut oil. Then there's horse chestnut oil. This is especially helpful if you're struggling with poor circulation or visible veins. It's been used throughout Europe, especially in Germany, to strengthen blood vessel walls and reduce the feeling of heaviness in the lower limbs. For those who see their ankles swell at the end of the day or feel like their legs simply give out, horse chestnut might be just what you're looking for. You don't necessarily have to choose just one oil. Some people mix a few drops of each oil in a carrier oil like sweet almond or olive and apply it equally. Others alternate based on how their legs feel that day. What matters most is listening carefully. Your body always communicates clearly. These oils simply help provide the appropriate responses. But remember, no oil, no matter how powerful, works in isolation. To truly transform the way your legs feel, there are some simple habits you can start practicing today, and we'll explore them in the next segment. Supporting habits. If you've ever wondered why some people get results faster than others, here's the secret. The oil plays its part, but daily habits complete the therapeutic picture. Anna didn't completely revolutionize her life overnight. She didn't join a gym or start taking dozens of new supplements. What she did was much simpler and more sustainable. He began to move consciously. Every morning before breakfast, he walked for just 10 minutes around his block. No pressure, no rush, just fresh air, regular steps, and a little rhythm in his legs. That gentle movement worked like a natural pump, encouraging circulation and helping the oil do its work more deeply and lastingly. He also added 3 simple exercises that anyone can do comfortably at home. Standing near the kitchen counter, he would raise himself on his toes and slowly lower himself, strengthening his calves. Sitting in her favorite chair, she extended one leg at a time to engage her quadriceps. And whenever she remembered, she made gentle circles with her ankles to keep everything moving. It didn't take more than 5 minutes, but the impact was enormous. Her diet didn't change drastically either, but she began incorporating more foods that support healthy blood flow, like garlic, turmeric, and berries. She also slightly reduced her salt intake, especially in the evening, which helped reduce the swelling in her ankles. Mindful rest. And then there was rest. Every afternoon, Anna devoted 15 minutes to leg elevations, simply placing 2 pillows under her calves while she lay down and breathed deeply. That short break gave her veins a chance to reset and helped the swelling subside naturally. At night, she placed a soft pillow under her ankles while she slept. Simple changes, but they added up beautifully. Naturally, as more people begin this journey, questions arise. So, let's take a moment to honestly and clearly answer the most common ones. As more and more people begin to experiment with this simple routine, some questions frequently arise, and they're important because when we better understand our individual needs, we achieve superior results. The first question is usually, can I use oil if I have varicose veins? The answer is yes, but gently. If your veins are visible or sensitive, don't press hard during the massage. Use gentle, upward strokes without applying direct pressure to the veins, and elevate your legs afterwards. That small touch makes a big difference. Frequently asked questions. Then there's the problem. I'm in my 80s. Will it still work for me? Absolutely. Age doesn't erase your body's ability to respond positively. It may take a little longer, but your skin, muscles, and circulation are still listening. We've heard from people in their late 80s and even early 90s who felt stronger, more stable, and more connected after just a few days of consistent treatment. Is it just for women? Absolutely not. Men need it just as much. Poor circulation, leg cramps, muscle wasting. These problems don't discriminate. In fact, many older men who had never tried massage before have said they were shocked by how profoundly it helped them, not just physically but emotionally as well. Another common question is, how long should I continue using it? There's no hard and fast rule. 7 days is a good start. After that, you can continue once a day or a few times a week, depending on how your legs feel. For some, it becomes a nightly habit, something they look forward to. Just listen to your body. It will tell you what it needs. And finally, what if I don't feel results immediately? That's okay. Every body responds differently. If your legs have struggled for years, it may take more than a few days to release the accumulated tension. The heart's message: be consistent. Pair the oil with movement, hydration, and rest. Give it time. Even small changes, less swelling, better sleep, easier steps, means something is working. Before this video ends, I want to remind you of something simple yet powerful. Your legs have accompanied you through your entire life, through celebrations, pain, every step that has brought you to where you are now. They have supported you when no one else could. And perhaps over time you've stopped noticing them, or worse, you've begun to resent them for the pain, the slowdown, or the cosmetic changes. But here's the fundamental truth. They still deserve attention and care. You still deserve attention and care. Not because you're trying to look younger, not because you have something to prove to anyone, but because attention is a pure form of love. And your body is worthy of that love at any age. So tonight, take 5 minutes, sit comfortably, warm some oil in your hands, breathe slowly and deeply, and simply listen to your body, your breathing, that silent, profound feeling of coming home to yourself. If this video touched something deep within you, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to discover other real and natural ways to feel strong, supported, and fully alive in your body. Until next time, walk gently and walk with love. For legs, swollen legs, night cramps, or visible veins, there may be another oil better suited to your specific body. Let's start with one that many people over 60 are rediscovering: arnica oil. If your legs bruise easily, are tender to the touch, or swell after walking or standing, this may be just what your body is silently needing. Arnica comes from a bright yellow flower, long used in traditional European remedies. When applied correctly, it helps reduce inflammation and soothes overworked muscle tissue.